Hello again, friends, and welcome back to your full-time show with me, your host, Martin. I've got a feeling tonight's going to be a busy full-time show following a 2-1 defeat away at Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. As always, I'll be joined by the three guys previously, but equally, we want you guys at home and girls, obviously, involved. The link is now in the chat. Just click that link and get yourself on the show. I will see you come onto into the blue room, the VIP room, and I will bring you on when I can, as soon as I can. And even if you think it's already been said, say it again, because you'll say it in a way it's not been said before. Or if you'd rather not come on the show, which is absolutely fine, I'd rather not. And I have to do it. And you can get involved in the chat box. But for now, I'm joined by Steve Thompson and Neil Moles, the F1 regular crew. They've arrived back before Matt. I don't know if Matt's coming back. He might have thrown his toys out of the pram and not be coming back. So, hang on, I've got to change the overlay. Bad times, depressing times. But as I change the overlay, talk to me about that 2-1 defeat, because it got away from us a little bit, didn't it?
I'm fuming.
Did you see anything in that tackle?
Reece Curtis, that was a disgrace for so many reasons. Rabbit Man, referee wearing a Sunderland shirt. Nick Muller, same old story. He's going with the same old story vibes. I don't think the tackle was a red card. No. However, I don't think it was given for the red card. I think it was given for the afters. Because if you look at the tackle, Ledbetter doesn't hit the ground. It's the after kick that brings Ledbetter down. And that's what I think the referee gave the red card for. As Steve departs us, I'll bring the Cruncher in. Give us some hard truths here, Crunch.
Am I allowed to swear?
Go for it.
It's 9:30. Go on him.
It's a fucking joke. Absolute shambles. No, come on, Martin. That is not a fucking red card, I tell you. And it's not a penalty. That is not a penalty. Tonight, right, I've bagged Paul Lambert plenty of times, right, and binned him off and blamed him. Tonight, I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to have any people coming on here and blaming him, because that defeat is down to one person and one person only, the referee. Simple as that. With
Who gives a penalty for a ball that was booted from your own team player against your arm?
Hang on, if we get Mr. Phillips on here, he's blaming Toto for it. So
he is.
We can get him on, because that is not a penalty. Come on.
No.
No way.
I tweeted out literally the first two letters of what, how, what. And I literally, that's how I felt. I sat here and you can ask the wife, I was like, what have I just watched? Like, I couldn't understand it.
You can watch that 10 times, Martin, and it's never a penalty. It is. It's laughable. It is laughable. If Lambert had gone on there and he chinned the ref at the end of the game, I'd have applauded him. Right?
Yeah. Katie on Twitter wanted Lambert to go on and chin the referee.
Look, I think with 11 men on the pitch, I think we would have won the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I thought we were playing really well. I thought Teddy Bishop tonight, especially second half, I thought he was outstanding. You know, the times he got away from their players and they just nibbled at him, little cynical foul, bringing him down. They couldn't handle him. I thought Lancaster had a good game. And people can say, look, it's another game. We didn't win against the top 6 side, which is a fair point. But
it's not our fault this time, though.
Yeah, tonight, guys, I thought, look, we're really unlucky. Look, we don't like to blame the ref all the time, but tonight he's the one man to blame there, because he's seen two things there that I don't think any other Town fans have. I just don't get it.
No, absolutely not.
Where did that penalty come from? As soon as when the play stopped, it's given a penalty. So, what the fuck? Where's that even from?
No one's appealed for it.
No.
I couldn't believe it. I mean,
it's ridiculous. If there were loads of appeals, you could maybe see it, but no one gave a shit.
Whatever happened to ball to hand or hand to ball? I mean, it wasn't handball, that's for sure. Like, I'm trying to think back to the moment, and his hand isn't even.
Didn't the ball go over the ball went over past McGuinness, and then Toto ended up volleying it against, say, the back of his arm / shoulder.
It was laughable. Absolutely laughable. Emerson Fairweather, I don't mind losing, but the officiating was dreadful. I agree. Matt Winger, with 11 on the pitch, we would have won that. Bishop was really good tonight. Alex, dubious red, penalty not given. Dubious penalty, standard of refereeing in League One. Mike says it was a narrow defeat and not a red, but we're still very blunt. Did they make a save?
Did their goalkeeper make a save?
No. Tiffin, no Sunderland from Dozell foul, no Sunderland appeals for a penalty. I'll just drop Neil out and bring in James G to the conversation. James G, welcome in. Give us your thoughts on tonight's horror show.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Lambert said that, was it the Lincoln game? The ref lost us the game? That was something I didn't agree with at all. But on this occasion, I'll be interested to see if he repeats that, because I'm afraid the ref lost us the game tonight. It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful display. And I'd just like to reiterate what Rich said about Bishop. I thought he absolutely ran the midfield, completely dominated them in the second half in terms of breaking away, breaking the thirds. I thought he was brilliant.
Isn't it great to see a fit Teddy Bishop, guys? He's playing back-to-back games. He's looking really strong. He's looking really fit. And this is what we want. We want him to stay fit the whole season.
He's brilliant. There was two players I was looking forward to returning from injury. One we've seen a lot of and it's looking really good. One we've not really seen a lot of, and that was Bishop and Hughes. And they said they've returned. They've both been polar opposite. But Bishop's looking fantastic. And he ran that midfield. He looked like he was trying to make it work towards the end as well. I thought he could potentially save a point for us, but
it wasn't. Was it?
That was shocking.
Nate King shared my sentiments. I'm speechless. I'm going to bring in Matt because I want to hear about how it's Toto's fault. Come on, Matt. Convince me how it's Toto and Tiala's fault. Come on.
What did we say in the pre-match show? He'll be involved in another penalty.
Oh.
Yeah, but come on, Matt. Listen to me. That is not the penalty.
Have a day off.
It is a pen. Hey? It is a pen.
That is a penalty.
He's headed the ball at McGuinness with his hands up in the air. I'm sorry, it's a pen. You saw it with Eric Dyer in the Spurs game. Was it Newcastle in the Premier League? That is a pen.
Can I just confirm you're not doing this, are you, for viewers? You're not doing this for sound bites. You're not doing this. You genuinely believe this is a penalty?
Yes.
More people should have appealed.
Under the new iPad rules, if your hands are up in the air and you've handled the ball, that is a pen. In fact, it's anything around the armpit. We've said it on the 1:30 show before.
I don't know what to say to this.
Hey, Marco.
You're a defender, Neil. What do you think of this?
He needs to put his wine down.
Go to the game, boys. Did you see Sunderland give away a penalty like that, or make that kind of header or challenge in the box? No.
It's only comical stuff that seems to be happening to us.
Exactly.
You don't do that ridiculous scenario. You don't end up giving away a penalty, do you?
Neil's hit the nail on the head.
This Facebook user needs to give us permission to use his name or her name. You're talking shit, man.
Martin, you need Robbie D's bullshit button. Because that is what you're talking, Matt. That is absolute right. You're talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish.
So the guy who is the official, the guy who's the referee, who knows the laws of the game inside out, has decreed that is a penalty, and we're all saying it isn't.
Yeah, but me and Cruncher have got our badges. We're saying it ain't, mate.
That isn't a penalty.
It is. It is a pen under the new laws of the game. It's a pen. We've discussed it on the Sunday show.
Matt,
whether you want it to be a penalty or not, the fact is the stupid scenario happened.
Exactly. Neil's hit the nail on the head. Toto and Ciala, 3 penalties he's now given away in the 3 games he's last played.
Vodka Red Bull. Matt agree. Wherever there's calamity or drama, Toto is there. Blokes are jinx.
Exactly.
Sid Driver, this cat's off a shit day all round. Oh, Sid, hope it was all right, mate. Obviously more on the show anytime. Matt, did you watch the game with your glasses off?
Well, you can say that as much as you want, but the referee, who's the professional in the scenario, is given the pen.
He might be a professional, Matt, but it doesn't mean he got the decision right.
He has got it right. McGuinness's hands is up here.
Oh, Matt. Someone said
McGuinness was facing the other way, wasn't he? McGuinness was facing
It doesn't matter.
It
Steve.
doesn't matter.
The new rule. The new law of the game is if it hits you round the armpit, up here, it's a pen. The Eric Dyer scenario, Premier League, tells you that's the new law of the game.
A Google user says, a new gardener says, Matt, normally I agree with you, but you're talking shit.
Well, I'm clearly not because the referee's given the penalty.
Matt,
if you're talking about the Eric Dyer one against Newcastle,
yes.
That one is not a penalty because he's not fucking looking at the ball, and the one tonight is not a penalty.
all right.
Red card. Was that a red card as well?
I'll bring Ben in. Ben, you've heard this conversation. Where do you stand on the penalty and the red card? Mike, I see you in the VIP room. I'm coming to you next with probably your Lambert comments. Ben, what do you think?
That was a penalty, my arse. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. But I do acknowledge the point that if there is a terrible decision to be made or a calamity to be had, then Toto is usually within 6 yards of it.
Exactly.
I don't feel that was a penalty. And I thought Lambert was pissed 2 games ago at the referee. He actually seemed quite cool tonight. And I bet he isn't behind closed doors. It was an absolute travesty. And I think the thing that makes me really sad is that I thought we actually played really, really well today. I thought if we lost against Sunderland, I was just going to give it up, be angry, not watch a few games. But do you know what? I actually leave this game thinking, I think I have a bit of hope in me that I didn't think we'd have if we lost. I thought Bishop was, and what you say, Crunch, is absolutely right, a fit Teddy Bishop. The guy is getting better and better. That little run he done at about the 88th minute, 89th minute, tiptoe around everywhere. Fantastic. That's what he's.
The only way they could stop him, Ben. The only way they could stop him was fouling him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only way they could stop him. Second half, he went 2 or 3 times. He went past them. They just a little ankle tap, and he was down. And you could see we were getting frustrated.
Yeah. Agreed. I find it just sad because I actually thought this is the game we're going to do it. The second half we actually came out like we ended the first. But the general facts are, though, in the last 5 games we've won 2 and lost 3, and those are all against top sides again. Which means if we continue this throughout the season, we're going to have any chance of getting anywhere. We're going to have to beat every single team, for sort of 6th downwards, every single week. Because if this is going to continue, who are we going to beat? Okay, we get outplayed. We don't have a plan B. We have a terrible ref. These things happen. That's the football season. But we keep on losing. The consistency is we're not winning the games as much better as I thought that we were tonight.
No problem.
We've got to beat everyone below 6th place every week, home and away, if we're going to get anywhere.
Yeah, but you would. I would argue that you should do anyway if you had ambitions for being a top 6 side. You need to be separating yourselves between those. Tonight, I don't think we were beaten by Sunderland.
Win your 23 home games, Martin, and you'll be all right.
Absolutely. If you win all your home games and don't get beaten the majority of your away games, you'll be fine. There you go. I've changed it for you. I've changed it ever so slightly for you, Crunch. Was it a red card, Ben? Was it a red card?
I think what you said is actually quite true. It wasn't the tackle. Whatever happened, however it comes out, and I think it will probably be rescinded, but it wasn't the tackle. Something happened afterwards, and because it was all clustered and they're all in one another, something happened that we didn't see or hear. And I'm absolutely fascinated to find out what that is, because it looked like an absolute abysmal decision. And because I thought the ref was actually having a really good game. He kept his cards down. He let play run through. He didn't get involved, and then I felt he lost his head. But something's going to come out about that red card that we don't quite know about yet. I don't know what the reason is. I'm fascinated. I really am.
I just thought it was the afters. By the way, the tackle came in and Ledbetter stood there, took it, and then went down. And you could see those leg move. It looked like there was a little bit of afters.
He seemed all right though, didn't he? Poor old Grunt, didn't he? Because he got up. I thought he was dead, and then he scored a penalty. I thought his leg was hanging off.
Yeah.
He was like Lazarus, honestly. But did you notice none of the Sunderland teammates around were calling for anything? In
both the penalty or the red card.
Yeah, either of them. I think they were as stunned as we are. I think they thought they got away with murder today. I bet they've got back in that dressing room and thought, my God, I mean, they've got to be buying the referee a pint after the game. I mean, God Almighty. I think Sunderland got away with it today. I did, and I thought we were better than we would have been. and I feel better than I thought I would have after we lost the game. I still think there's hope there. Again, I'll come back to it. I thought Chambers had a really good game. I just made a little note here that just before half time, it's the 42nd, 3rd minute, he done this zipped cross the whole length of the pitch down to Edwards, running down the wing. He's doing that all the time now. He's making great interceptions. He's becoming a real quiet, solid rock, the kind of thing that I want a captain to be. The next lineup for is it FA Cup on the weekend?
It is, yeah, Portsmouth.
Okay, so next league lineup. I'm really fascinated to see who starts, but I think one good thing to come out of the Dizelle sending off, I think we're going to see Bennett's on. And I tell you, every time that guy comes on the pitch, I'm excited. I think he's going to be something really special for us. I really do.
He can't take a corner. He can't take a corner, Ben. He had 2 efforts there and
first man. Neither can any of us. We've got 25 rounds.
He's only been on the pitch 20 seconds, Rich.
That's his first time.
I mean, he got what? A minute and 10?
If someone's coming on with 5 minutes left and you've got a corner,
a minute
why
and
is he
10
taking it then? If he's not ready, why is he taking the corner?
It might have been in the instruction. You're quite right. But as far as dead balls and free kicks and corners, I mean, Jesus Christ, are we the worst team in the division or just one of the worst? Because we are abysmal. We actually, when my family go to watch the games, we have this thing we say every match. Whenever you get a corner, we go half a goal, because it's so ironic that the fact that there's no chance we're ever going to score for one. Corners, when you're down to 10 men, or it's a 1-1 and you're chasing that win to really turn your season, to give it some momentum. You know, we should be practicing these day in, day out, but every single free kick and corner we take is just
set pieces are terrible. What about Dizelle free kick into the wall?
I wish they were as good as terrible.
It's laughable. We don't take. You can moan about penalties and red cards all you want. We don't take our chances when we got them. Set pieces are a great chance to score from. We've not looked like scoring one all season.
You don't need to be warm.
The Hawkins miss. That was the game.
But you don't need to be warm, Cruncher, to take a corner. You just need to be able to put a ball in a box.
It's not difficult, is it?
No. Right. So I'm going to bring on Mike because I want to discuss what Mike's going to probably bring to the party. Ben, we love you. We appreciate you as always. Cruncher, love you. Speak to you soon. Double change. Cheers, lads. Mike, I want to bring you in because I think I know what you're going to say. But before you do, my problem with the referee's decision is the lack of accountability. Now, you're a big Lambert accountability. You're always on top of him, which is fair enough a lot of times. But referees don't ever have that accountability. Like, no one will ever ask this referee what, why, how. You won't ever know if he's ever told it was wrong. You'll just know rescinded or whatever. But we'll never find out the true story. That was disgusting tonight, was it not?
Okay, let's deal with the first one. The red card, for me, when I watched it, I rewound it and I watched it, and for me, it looked like Dizelle went in two-footed and then followed up with a petulant kick out.
So Martin said,
That to me is what I see, and I think he gave a referee a decision to make, and the referee made his decision. So on that one, that's for me. The red card, is it the referee's fault or is it the laws of the game? Because right now, the laws of the game says if your hand's in an unnatural position and the ball touches your arm in the area.
Exactly, Mike. Thank God.
We don't like it, do I?
Mike is talking. Someone who actually knows the laws of the game. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
You know, the reality is, do I like that decision? Hell no. Do I think the referee... The problem is the laws of the game has made it difficult for referees.
Exactly.
Now, they've got to make these decisions. And we don't agree with them. Of course we don't agree with them. Do I feel we were robbed tonight? Yeah. But for 40 minutes of that game until Lancaster scored, I thought we were abysmal. Again, lackluster, no effort, no passion. Where was the passion in the second half, in the first 40 minutes of that first half before Lancaster scored? My issue is, what is Judge doing on that pitch? What did Judge offer tonight?
We couldn't even work out where he was playing.
Do you know what? We got Bennett's on the bench and we got Judge, right? And Judge, no disrespects, right? But he should be left back in the changing rooms. Do you know what I mean? For me, I don't blame Lambert for tonight's defeat. I question his tactics. I question his team selection to a point. I was happy at the start. The only one I weren't happy with was Judge. I felt Enciana was the best choice out of the two. I didn't think he did much wrong tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same old. We're having the same old conversations every week. Was the ref? Look, do we feel all robbed? Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah.
When the penalty was given, I knew why it was given. Did I like the decision? Did I agree with the decision? No. In my opinion, it's gone too far the other way. You know, it used to be ball to hand, or used to be hand to ball.
Yes.
Now it's ball to hand.
Yeah.
It's all wrong. Let's get it straight, guys. It's all wrong. We know that.
Yeah.
But you know, we have to accept it. We can't sit there and say, "Oh no, it weren't a penalty." And under the laws of the game now, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate every minute of it. But again, we haven't beaten the top 6 side. Again, we're still coming out of the blocks like, well, is Lambert saying to the players, right, for the first 40 minutes, don't give any effort and leave it for the second half. If we played like when we went to 10 men, we were more up for it. And if we can do that from the very beginning of the game and start moving the ball around like a bit more faster, a bit more crisper, like we did in the second half, we will tear these teams to pieces. The reality
they never start like, do they? They never start like it. They never start like it.
Absolutely, it's hard because you know, and I think yes, we lost tonight, but and like I said, okay, it's not Lambert's fault as such, but he still picked that side. He still picked a player like Judge, who, quite frankly, isn't good enough anymore.
Not when you've got someone like Bennett constantly on the bench.
All got pace, all got passion, all got effort. Bishop tonight, I thought second half was unplayable.
Yeah,
I thought he was by far the best player. Edwards had a quiet day.
The problem, Mike, and you will know this as a coach, is Ipswich waste far too much time in the first half just stroking the ball around as if they're one up.
Well, I think someone said at half time, Cruncher said about 66.7% possession, and someone followed it up with, it was our 2 centre backs and the goalie, and he's right.
Yeah, it's a false stat, right? It's a false stat.
Mike, you want to play with fastness and you want to zip the ball about. Neil, will Alan Judge allow you to do that if you pick Alan Judge? Or is it Alan Judge being in the team who likes to have touches on the ball and be methodical with it? Is he the reason why the team's not zipping it about, do you feel? What does Judge bring? Mike's got a valid point there, do you feel?
Well, originally you would have felt that Judge would have brought some quality to our team. But more times I see him, he'll take a touch and it'll just be a missed touch, or he'll end up dilly-dallying about, and then he ends up having to slide, and he just to get an extra touch on the ball to hope to flick it to one of our players, because his footwork just doesn't seem to be there. He's got no pace. His footwork doesn't seem up to it, and then he's just got to quickly do a little slide pass to try and not be tackled, because he's just too slow for us now.
So you're not going to get that 1-2 touch movement, are you?
No.
Which is what Mike wants, and what we
Well,
do
the thing
look
is,
like getting.
You can get that 1-2 touch. You can do 1-2s with him, but the fact that our other players generally don't move too far, you just pass into space with none of our players there.
Yeah,
I would love to watch a player cam on Judge, because he would remind me of that video that a Newcastle fan did of Jonathan Douglas a few years back. Do you know what I mean? My dad's playing
like your granddad running, wasn't it?
Because, I mean, I just cannot, for the life of me, see what he offers for this team other than age.
it's very rare I get a unanimous decision from everybody, but I think this is the one player, possibly Miles Kenlock's another one, where everybody on this show or in the chat always comes on and says more or less the exact same thing, and that for me is probably a true indicator of what the situation is. Like John Nolan, for example, I don't like him, other people do. Alan Judge, meanwhile, I've got numerous comments. Mike Davey, Judge stealing a living, things like that. Steve, you've seen Kinnan Bennett probably the most, because you've been with me on a Tuesday night every single week, and he's played the majority of the time on a Tuesday night in different cups and whatnot. Is it time we saw more of him?
Yes, especially when you got a guy like him on the bench. Why bring him on with like 5 minutes to go plus the occasional bit of added time?
Didn't even have that.
Because it's ridiculous. Because for the very limited time he had tonight, he did more than Judge did all game.
Yeah.
And you got someone like Judge who's starting week in and week out. And when we signed Judge originally, I was quite chuffed because I thought he could offer something. You know, he got experience to the team. Because he joined us. Did he join us in the relegation season? Was it just after?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the January. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So I thought, okay, because we had him on loan, didn't we originally? I think, or was it? No, I imagine.
Yeah, we did. No, we did. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
came
did,
on a free. Yeah, we did. You're right.
Oh, that's it. And I thought, oh, good, we could offer something to this team. But he's done naff all since, and he's still being started over Bennett. And Bennett is getting the odd 5 or 10 minutes. And whenever he comes on, he looks fantastic. Like tonight, he was eager, he was up for it, he was running, making good passes. He just doesn't get the time. He needs to start. He really does.
Let's bring Johnny Duncan in, passionate fan, just as Mike is.
Hello, landlord. How are you, man?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well.
Oh, Matt, how are you?
How you doing? You all right?
I'm not too bad. Do you know what? I agree with Mike. Totally. Absolutely. It was a red card. It was a red card. And I cringed when it happened. And do you know what? The referee was spot on tonight. He didn't get much wrong at all. And I was fans of mine was sitting watching it. I said, referee's good night. Nothing wrong. And when the Andre thing happened, I thought, oh, I'm worried. And it happened. And I agree with the ref.
Did you think it was a pen, Johnny? Hands are up here.
Yeah. You can't, Matt, you can't do it these days.
No, you can't. Players need to know this.
It's
Players need to know this.
a dodgy situation to be doing stuff like that in dodgy areas.
Yeah.
You know what? If it was against us, we would have been screaming. So
Yeah, exactly. The other foot. Exactly.
I actually think it was a fair result.
The thing is, though, you can't really blame McGuinness for that. All you can really say on him is you misjudged the flight of the ball, got yourself in the wrong position, and then you've got some moron behind you that's decided to volley the ball at your back.
Neil, it's a simple mistake. I would never cane McGuinness for that. It's a simple mistake, right? Yeah. But you know damn well that if it had been Toto or Wilson doing it, or Chambers playing centre half, they would have been crucified. But, you know, I'm saying, I think Chambers was solid tonight. I think Bishop was ace.
Yeah.
What really bothers me, and it always bothers me about us when we play, is there's too many passes behind the player. We're going forward and we're attacking, and they go bang, and there's a pass, and someone has to step back 3 yards to collect the ball. That's schoolboy stuff. You don't. You should have to check your play to run back to collect the ball. It's either to your feet or a yard in front of you.
The momentum's gone then, isn't it? The momentum of the move has gone then, hasn't it?
Basically.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see. So we said at the top of the show, I said I thought Toto would be involved in another penalty decision. It's been proved correct. You don't see other teams doing this because they've got better defenders than Toto and Ciala. That is the truth of it.
But then equally, we can't sit here and say McGuinness is going to be absolutely wonderful and the sun shines out. And then actually it's his header that's caused it. He's misjudged the header.
But it's because Ciala has headed it at him.
No, he hasn't. No. McGuinness goes up first. Enciaro then volleys it away, and McGuinness is then turning back in an unnatural position. So if he clears the ball in the first place, or just watches it go over his head, Toto can clear it. I'm not quite sure.
We can moan as much as we want, but that is the new IFAB ruling.
No.
Why does Enciala have to volley it the way he does?
He's just following it away. I'm really struggling with this. Toto's to blame.
If one of your players is falling in front of you, you do not boot the ball at them. I'm sorry.
Do you not think?
Only Toto.
Is that our defence? We've how many times has Chambers tried to play the ball out on the right hand side and ended up getting caught out, and we've conceded especially in the championship season and sometimes last season. I mean, Chambers, I have to agree, Chambers has been immense this season, but we're always saying, look, Rosette. I think that's probably what NCR was doing. The mistake was Guinness, not NCR.
Thank you.
The mistake if that was one of my defenders, I'd be saying you should have been watching the flight of the ball.
Yes. Yeah.
And all NCR was doing was trying to pick up the mistake that Guinness made.
At a split
And
second.
gave away a penalty. Congratulations.
Mike, it's always the same person. It's always the same person.
It's only to the rules of the law, isn't it?
Yeah.
Under they put these silly arms out in the air type thing.
Johnny?
Ruled out, then that would have been a penalty.
For me, I don't know if you lot agree, but there was one passenger tonight, and that was Judge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, everyone's agreeing on that, Johnny. Yeah.
And do you know what? I want him to be the player he was.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I want him, but he isn't going to be. And
No.
I think it's time. I think Bennett should be in instead of Judge, at least. People say bring Hughes in, but I don't think he's going to bring what we need. You know damn well. Now Dazell's suspended. You know damn well that what Lambert's going to do is going to be complete opposite to what us fans want to see.
Who's your playmaker now? Because we haven't got Dazell now for 3 games. So who's
Bishop is an awesome playmaker, mate. He is like Matt. Come on.
We've just got to play with an advanced playmaker rather than a deep lying.
Yeah,
right, Neil. Exactly.
I would bring Hughes in to play that role to give Bishop freedom. To get forward.
I'm going to throw something at you.
Got it.
Alan Judge. If he played a deep role, would he do anything totally different to Andre? Because Andre's not a big tackler.
Andre's got the passing.
Andre's better on the ball.
Great minds. I was thinking that myself after he'd got who comes into that role. Exactly. That could be an option.
Because we bash Alan Judge, but he can pick a pass.
Yeah.
But the other side in there, if you do get closed down, Dazell is good on his feet, so he can turn when he needs to.
He has that bit of pace.
Judge will just give the ball away.
Well, if that don't get rescinded, we're going to lose him for the next 3 games.
I think it's going to be. I think Hughes will probably come in all honesty.
It's going to be John Nolan.
Nolan will backstay. I do believe the suspension starts with the FA Cup because it's a first team game.
Potentially.
I'd like to see Hughes come in and do Dazell's role. I think Hughes could do it quite well.
I think it'll be him.
He's not lit up the season so far, but I think he could do it.
Right. Steve is right. Hughes could do Dazell's role better. You can't do Judge because you need to put a bungee cord on the back of his short to stop him going and moving where he needs to go. Because you can't control the little bastard. I'm not joking, right? He just has no field of I'm going to stay here. He's like Jim Magilton without the ability.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Johnny.
He hasn't got the discipline, has he? That's the issue.
No, he hasn't. Exactly, Matt.
Right.
He's got the enthusiasm and the personality of Magilton, but he just hasn't got the ability to do what Magilton did.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Johnny. Fair. Right. So, with one eye to the FA Cup, Brenner and Tommy, who I thought was very good tonight on the commentary, they felt the club would go with a much youthful setup Saturday. If Dobra comes in, is it his chance now with Andre missing and some reshuffling going to happen? Is it his chance to really show against League One opposition what he can do?
Where do you play him then? Where's he going to play?
I'd play him behind the striker, personally.
Yeah, number 10.
Where you may have a vacancy.
So he's going to be in one of those 2 wide positions then with Hawkins or Jackson, whoever is the central striker. Is that where you've seen him?
Yes. Yeah. Just off Hawkins, really. See if his pace can't get in and around and feed off what Hawkins can sort of give him. Really.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think that's a good move. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Steve?
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think that's a good move, but he still won't get a game in League One because we know that as soon as we get to the next League One game, it's going to be Hughes on, or I really hope not, but Nolan.
Johnny's just spotted the anonymous Facebook user comment.
It's my girlfriend. Joking.
Johnny, we love you. What will the score be Saturday before I let you go and finish that Amstel?
you focusing on my beer? Saturday.
Of course, I'm the landlord. Of course, I am.
I'll tell you on the day.
Okay. Enjoy your beer. Enjoy your beer. We love you, Mike. Saturday, FA Cup, a big. This is a cup we've won as a club. We should be entering it with some pride. What do you want to see? Mixture, youth. Take it seriously. Don't take it seriously.
I want to see players like Dobra, Bennett's. I want to see them playing in their round pegs. If you understand, round holes, round pegs. Do you know what I mean? That's where I want to see them play, and I want to see if all the attention that they're getting from us guys, us fans and stuff. I want to see if they've actually got the potential to actually do something in their roles, and maybe then then they can give Lambert something to think about. The problem is, I'm not sure Lambert really knows what he's. Well, I'm not convinced with Lambert. I'm not a Lambert fan. Never have been. I didn't want him at the club in the first place. But
do you think he'll be gone by? Do you think he could be gone by Christmas? That was my prediction.
Do you know what? I'd quite happily pay for his P45 if I'm brutally honest. I think we need a manager to come in now and restructure the way that we play. We've had managers of the past like Burley, who brought a lot of youth in. Bobby Robson brought a lot of youth in. Do you know what I mean? Even John Lyle and all them guys, there was a lot of youth players there. When we won things and done things, we had a lot of youth players come through. Yeah. We have, the League One is crying out for young, hungry youth players to get a name for themselves. And running around with dads on the pitch like Judge, no disrespects, but again, it'll be another struggling season unless Lambert can start kicking some of these players' backsides up at the start of the game. It's
absolutely.
Trouble is, if Lambert goes, who would come in? Because surely by now, although obviously it's a club with you've got like the fan base, the facilities, the history, that sort of thing.
We've got political.
Oh, legend.
Sorry.
Although you've got things like the fan base, the facilities, obviously the stadium, the history, everything like that, it should be a really attractive club to manage. Who's going to want to? Because they're all going to know now that Evans doesn't give managers.
He's not going anywhere. We were second coming into tonight.
I hope he does, but he's not.
All this talk about Christmas and all that. No. He's here for the year.
If he was to go, hypothetically, if he was to go, who's going to want to come in? Because they'll all know by now that they're not going to have anything to work with.
I'll come in.
That's a good squad. I still feel that's a good squad to be working with, in all honesty. I feel that's a good squad. Whether or not 4-3-3 or whatever the formation is the correct thing, I don't know. He seems very slow to me. Martin said it before, there's no intent, there's no particular tempo.
When I said nothing to work with, I didn't mean the squad. The squad's awesome. I meant like in terms of future budget.
No, there's nothing to work with.
I feel we've got good individuals in the squad, but there is not a proper squad there.
No, it's individuals.
I know what you mean.
It's not a collective.
That comes from training. That comes from management. That comes from coaching. You could have a group of players. I've got a group of lads, and there's some real good abilities and not so good. But I've got, with the coaches and the manager around us, we've got a really good group of players that are actually playing for each other. And the problem is, I don't think Lambert's actually got that with Ipswich, and that is the problem for me.
Stick your CV in, Mike. Stick your CV in, all right, and we'll see how far you get in
the feel of a unit. They'd more of a feel of a unit about.
I'd love to, but
Neil,
I'm never going to get that job.
With Portsmouth on Saturday, no, you're probably not. Sorry. With Portsmouth on Saturday, would you stick with Toto and McGuinness if knowing that Wolfenden's out for?
Yeah, I would.
Possibly Shrewsbury. Would you stick with that, Neil?
If you want more calamity, then yeah.
Well, are they the number one pairing? As in, if Toto stepped up today, is that how Lambert
has never been my number one pairing?
I'm not asking if they're your number one pairing. I'm asking, would you get them more game time so things like today don't happen again? We know they're not going to misjudge the ball. We know there'll be a better partnership. Or would you say, let's bring Wilson in, let's freshen it up, let's rest McGuinness? Where would you sit on that? Where as a centre half yourself, where do you sit with that? Do you want game time with your partner, or do you not mind that so much?
I'm not sure I like a partner that boots the ball at me.
He's trying to. Yeah, the thing is, I know you say what you're saying, Neil, but in all fairness, he's just trying to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
And we see it every week on even in the Premier League,
Composure.
stuff like that happen.
Come on.
When you're under pressure, and your defenders just let the ball go over his head, and you're under pressure.
If you can't cope with that pressure there, you shouldn't be there.
Do you think Wilson would? Well, then you could argue that McGuinness let that ball go over his head because he was under pressure.
Yeah, if one of your teammates made a mistake.
I really
it doesn't mean the first thing you have to do is volley it.
I do feel we're entering Jonas Knudsen territory of scapegoat going on here.
Yeah,
I really do. Yeah. I really do. Because I think if you watch it back, and I think Neil is an honest guy, I think he watches about you'll feel yourself is a little bit hardening. Because you're talking split seconds here. You know, your partner's misjudged the ball. You've got a split second. Do you let it bounce? No, you clear it.
The game is split seconds, Martin. That is the game.
Yeah, but anybody could have done that. And I think it's unfair to say, McGuinness misjudged the ball, but we'll ignore that. I think it's unfair. I just want to point that out as host. I just think it's unfair just to ignore the misplaced header and say
I agree with that.
It's the ball being booted.
An incident has occurred that has made the referee force the referee to make a decision, which is what happened in the Lincoln game. Enciala put in that late tackle in the box. It's forced the referee to make a decision. He's done the same tonight.
The Enciala against Lincoln, the penalty. I mean, that was poor defending. But tonight, I think McGuinness' position was completely wrong, and he should have flighted the ball.
I don't disagree with you, Mike. I don't disagree with you. But did you see the Sunderland defence force the referee into making a decision this evening? No.
No, because I don't think we put enough pressure on him.
If his positioning was that bad, and the defence actually spoke to each other as they should, Enciala should already have said, it's his ball.
Yeah, we go round in circles on this. I like what Jacob Barrow's saying.
I can't disagree there as well.
Bring him back up for Saturday.
Point there as well. Yeah, I think there is a valid point there. Looking at it from, like I said, from the other flip side of the coin. I think you could argue that point. I think both of them today were at fault, if I'm honest, for that penalty. And I do think that Enciala and McGuinness made a better pairing because they're more natural in their side. If Wilner's on the right hand side, he's not really played there much, has he? He's always played on the left hand side of centre back, hasn't he? So
yeah, right.
To go back to
giving away 3 penalties in 3 games. Okay,
Neil, go on. To go back to your original question, it's an isolated incident. Keep the 2 of them.
Thank you.
The rest of it, were they that bad? No. It's just how it happened at that moment.
It is. Steve, final word. Do you think we're going to win on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it'll be close. 2-1. I'd like to see a mixture of youth and more experience, not Judge. I can't see him playing anyway for Saturday. I'd like to see people like Baggett. I'd like to see him play again because he looked really good when we saw him last time. Dobra, I'd love to see him play. Bennett's from the start, not off the bench with 5 minutes to go. And I think I'd like to see Cornell in goal again because last time I watched him, I was more confident having him in goal than I am with Holy because Holy just looks clueless with his feet half the time.
He did again tonight, not with his feet, but a few times in that game today I felt,
I panic. I panic when he gets the ball. Because I can see players bearing down on him. Just boots it.
So, I was wondering why you never mentioned that at the start of the match, pre-match, why Holy wasn't mentioned. Because we always want to see, a bit of Cornell. We just haven't seen enough of him.
A bout to pressure. I'm told I'm too negative sometimes. I'm told I'm too negative. So I try to leave things that are going to, antagonise alone. But I will say this as we close today's show. Obviously, back Saturday 2:30 Matchday ticket. Matt and Rob. Poor Toto. All I'll say is this: when Toto scores the winning goal to win his promotion, you'll all be loving him then. But until next time, with love, with care. See you Saturday.
Cheers.